Maker crap. Um, so, as a preliminary, just looking at ranked, by the way, there's only 13 days left of Winter Split rank. I am not gonna make it to Masters. I am not going for that loading frame, I don't think. It told me I had it unlocked. That's the funny part. It told me I had it unlocked. Like, when I went to my frames, okay, it told me for the longest time, it was right there, below the Forsaken frame. It won't let me do, right below the Forsaken frame, it had, it was called XX Mastery Frame XX. I didn't know what the fuck it was, so I assumed it was that, but now that frame is gone. I was gonna equip it if I hit Masters again, because if you remember correctly, I was in Masters at the end of Season 1, even though this is still glitched. Okay, so if you look at all these things right here, be the only player alive in a match, that's not, no one has that. See where it is. Get daily rewards 7 days in a row, 10 hours in party, reach Masters in ranked, Paladins account over a year old. Those are all glitched. I cannot get any of those. I have been in party for a lot. I have over 700 hours, close to 800 hours on this game, and most of them have been in party. I know. Until they did that big 24-hour patch update on the server, I had not missed a day on daily login reward. So, like, shit like that is rather annoying. But looking at the champions, so now I want to remind you, these changes are all going to be coming as of 2019. They are not going to be happening this year, and they're probably going to be happening when Crossplay came. Now, for those of you who don't know, there was a big server update that made the game unplayable for 24 hours. And it was actually more than 24 hours. It was close to about 35, 40 hours, which is why they gave out this title to everyone called the Impatient. Yes, right there. Everyone runs that title now. I can't stand that title. If you look at all the damn titles I have, I'm not even going to go off on all these titles. I'm just going to let you know I am still running the Insane, which is awarded for having 30 characters higher than level 20. And as you are about to see, I have every character at 20 or higher. Now, to be fair, I did buy a few levels. There are a few champions I have bought levels for. I did buy some levels on Ashe. I did buy levels on Kinessa, because I'm not a sniper person. I bought levels on Eevee. That's more recent, mostly because I'm getting really sick and tired of playing Eevee. I got one on Maeve, just to finish her off. I did get a few on Koga. I can't stand Koga. And then I bought some levels on Strix. What I mean by buying levels is, like, you see where Khan, where it would cost me 44,000, it cost me a full amount to buy that. That's buying a level. This is rounding off a level right here. Like, okay, it's only 17,000. I've played her a decent amount. I played her over halfway. So me just rounding off that level is me saying, I don't want to play this character anymore to get her to another level. But yeah, let's jump right in. So these are the future changes. Now, before I begin, it seems to me that Paladins does this thing where they, like once a year, they radically change how the game works. So before my time, you had essence. You did not have crystals. You did not have gold. You know, you didn't have crystals and gold like, you had Essence and you had VIP. Like, those are outdated things that are gone. There was a patch a while ago that really nerfed mobility. I think it was in the 30s or the 40s. OB 40 something or OB 30 something. Like, Maeve had a triple jump. Kinessa teleport got nerfed. This was the great movement speed nerf. It nerfed a lot of the mobility in the game. And a lot of people left the game then. And so then they came out with OB 64, which was cards and bounds. So the way your loadouts worked is your loadouts were, instead of being able to put 5 points, all of these cards right here, you had to find the card in loot boxes, basically. And it would be, every time you got a certain number of cards for it, it would level up. So, for example, I would find Chokehold in the loot box, I would unlock it. then I would find 2 more chokehold cards, and it would go up to level 2. And then I would find 3 more cards, and it would go to level 3. And then 4 more cards, and it would go up to level 10. And it worked for your legendary cards. And that is what they are. I'm not calling them talents. They are legendary cards. Thank you very much. So you had legendary cards like, you know, you would get higher values of this. And I remember so fondly Zin. Like, I loved Zin back then because I had a tier 10 Smolder card. I healed 100% of my maximum health per second during Billow. I activated Billow, I was back to full health. So, yeah, and then I had a really good loadout to go with it. So that's why I was like, I loved Cards Unbound. And now Cards Unbound is like, oh, it's pay to win. To me, all those people that said Cards Unbound was pay to win, I honestly, I came into the game during Cards Unbound. I came into the game when Moji got released. And to tell you something, it was not pay to win. I did not spend any money on this game until Cards Unbound actually went away, I believe. No, that's not true. I bought the Champions Pack, the Founders Pack, back then. I bought the Founders Pack the month before Cards Unbound went away. Like, not even the month. I think like 2 weeks before Cards Unbound went away, I bought the Founders Pack. And that unlocked all of the cards and everything like that. So, I got a shit ton of gold afterwards. And people tell me, oh, you shouldn't have bought the Founders Pack, you should have grinded like a normal person. But I was good at the game, and I was tired of grinding. I played Buck. Like, I mostly played Buck. I played Tyra. I didn't play Moji until I got the Founders Pack, because they always said, oh, Moji's overpowered. And then they nerfed Moji, and then nobody touched Moji, so I played Moji, because people said she was underpowered now. It was like, my thing is, I played the champions, people said are underpowered. So, when Cards Unbound came along, they introduced that system. They also brought in a 4th legendary card. Well, now, Paladins has a problem with the quote-unquote burst meta. Which, you know, no other FPS has something like that, you know. SMGs in Call of Duty are entirely fair and balanced. They're not at all bursty because it gives you a faster time to kill. And this is my problem. Anything that's going to give you a faster time to kill is going to be a burst meta. How is Victor on Firefight not considered burst meta when that is his highest DPS card? It's not highest DPS, actually. Shrapnel is. But it enables him to do the most damage in a short amount of time. Okay? That's burst meta. Same thing Androxus. And I want to use Androxus later on as a great example. Okay? But I need to really get into this. So what they are doing is they're removing the 4th legendary card on every champion. Now, most of the cards are going to be either deleted or made base kit. What do I mean by that? Well, Leon on Death and Taxes is being erased. Another example is, where is he? Makoa is losing Davy Jones' Locker. Another example is going to be Vivian is losing Saparats. Okay, and then there are other cards that are going to be made base kit, which means they're going to be added to their list of abilities on the left side of the screen. For example, Celestial Touch is now going to be base kit on Genos. The thing is, they're doing a bit of a diminishing return, so it should only be 5% maximum health, which is absolutely nothing. 10% is nothing to begin with. Ceres, Void Abides is becoming base kit. They're removing that. So you now need Mortal Reach to change how she functions. This is something that annoys me to hell and back, because now we're going to have Soul Collector Cereses that do nothing on healing and say, well, my base kit has Void Abides. I don't need cooldown reduction in my kit now. Tyra is another great example, because her First Blood Life Rip card is base kit. They're going to make Tyra have 30% life rip base kit. Yeah, that's entirely fair and balanced completely. Yeah, way to go, guys. Great job. That's just an example. Now, the reason they're doing this is there are certain loadout cards that they want to remove, and Drogos is the example for this. So, this is how they're going to change loadouts. Wormjets is going to become base kit on Drogos, so he's going to have that flight speed bonus. So it's going to be Combustible, Fuselage, and Reign of Terror as your legendary cards of choice. Now, if you look at the loadout cards, I specifically chose this for a reason, because he has all 4 of the 5 loadout cards that are going to be removed. There are 5 types of loadout cards that are being removed. So, reload speed cards, that is, you know, he has weapon hits, increase your reload speed by 10%. Anything that buffs your reload speed, gone. Anything that grants crowd control, gone. Anything that deals Wrecker, which is damage to shielding, gone. Anything that gives you a cauterize effect, reduces healing, gone. And then the last one I have to switch characters for is Strix. Anything that gives a reveal, gone. Now, going back to Drogos, how is this going to work? Well, if they're removing those cards, they're reworking all of those cards. And the example that I had were just on these 2 cards from when I was talking with Hi-Rez. And I will call them Hi-Rez and not Evil Mojo, because they were Hi-Rez when I came into the game, just like they were legendary cards when I came into the game, and not talents. Basically, the way they're working it is that loadout cards are going to be souped up versions of legendary cards. You know, Fuselage, it makes your direct shots deal more damage. So you're not doing as much area damage, you're going to focus more on your direct shots. You know, Combustible changes how your fire spit works, as an example. Basically, they want loadout cards to affect every individual ability stat. So, Follow the Scent is going to be changed. So your fire spit is now going to have a larger radius on explosion the more you put into that. Decimate is going to be changed. Your salvo has a larger blast radius the more points you put into it. It'll affect stat changes like that. Now what is the reasoning behind this? And when is this coming? This is coming as of the crossplay patch. It is rumored to be between May and August, middle of next year, when they're doing this. When crossplay, it'll be PC, PS4, Xbox, and Switch will all be playing together as one big toxic family, because there is no one big happy family. We're toxic enough on PS4 with each other. PC, toxic enough as it is. PC and PS4, we fucking hate each other, and here's why. So PC is afraid that people are not going to be able to handle the controller sensitivity on console when mouse and keyboard comes over. So basically they're going to think that people are going to manipulate numbers to their advantage in loadouts and stuff like that, which is what any smart Paladins player already does. They use their loadout to get the maximum possible numerical advantage on a build. That is why you run multiple builds, okay? That is why people say, oh, Vivian's a bad champion. Well, why? Well, she's slow. And she only has 1 damage ability. Okay, so you run Mobile Tank and you run Booby Trap. That gives you a secondary way to deal damage, albeit on a cooldown. And it gives her Nimble 3 off the bat. So what is your problem? That's how you make a build. Is you make a build to either buff a strength or to hide a weakness and make it a strength. Vivian moves faster than flank sometimes on that build. So no, like, this is another great example of why people always shit on, I say there's no bad character in the game, except for Koga because he's overpowered and broken, and I still hold that to this day. And a lot of the choices really befuddle me, what they're doing as well. I'll explain why they're changing those loadout cards in a minute. Biggest change for me personally, Moji is being changed to a support. They're taking the character that deals the absolute most damage in the game. When you have a 500,000 damage game, which I don't see people getting above 300,000. I've seen like maybe 1 or 2 other people get above 300,000. It was like 40-minute siege game. I had a 40-minute siege game with 500,000 damage on Moji. You're gonna take the highest damage character away, and you're gonna turn them into a support. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, yes, that's me as a support, as emoji main, but I'm also a support main. You look, every one of my healers is 32 or higher. I cannot fucking stand the fact that they are turning my highest level character and making a support. They are gonna turn me into a fucking support tank main if I wasn't already. I mean, I have every tank at a minimum of 32. Every support at a minimum of 32. With so much playtime on those two classes, I'm actually now struggling to come back to damage and flank. Like, I am such shit on Xin right now, except on Fish Market. Because I've been stuck on healer tank so much, because nobody else plays healer tank but me. There's like a few friends that I have that when we party up, it's like, he plays healer tank, and I'm like, I'm so sick and tired of healer tank, because when you're not here, I have to play it. I'm playing damage flank, and I still end up playing healer tank. But, yeah, that's gonna be annoying. They're reworking a lot of cards. I could go over every single card that's rumored, but I don't want to do that. I'm not gonna spoil things. They're changing Strix's unauthorized use. I should mention that. So they are removing the Flare's ability to reveal at all on that card. The Flare is going to deal 400% more damage, which will put it at 1,000 damage. Its projectile speed will be increased to 200, which basically makes it a hit scan. And they're leaving the cooldown reduction where it's at. So they're just taking the reveal off of it. So you're basically going to have a hit scan, 5-second, 1,000 damage ability. People don't play unauthorized use because of the reveal. People play unauthorized use because of the damage that it does to begin with. Or at least I do. Ambush, I was told Ambush is being made base kit. And then you have changes like Vivian, where Vivian, okay, so this is again, Saparans is going away, Opportunity Chaos is becoming base kit, and they're reworking Opportunity and Chaos and giving her basically a new legendary card under the title, Opportunity and Chaos. Khan's ult is being changed. So it is now going to be, if you look out in his corner where it's just a hand, that is exactly what it is now. It is going to be a hand that is thrown. It is a projectile weapon. And if you miss the hand, you get 30% of your ult charge back. If it hits, you are in third-person mode and you actually control the hand and you move them around like a claw game. Like one of the claw games where you move it around, you drop it, it picks up an item, and then you move it back. Stuff like that. Yeah. Why? Why are they doing that? They're changing Zin's Retaliation. This is another one I'm kind of spoiling. Retaliation is going to be base kit. His counter state is now going to be a projectile, like Androxus's Reversal. So you can actually aim it and stuff like that. What was the other one that I had? Smoke Screen on Sky is being reworked. So it's no longer going to impair visibility at all for the enemy team, which they should just rename it to Smoke Grenade then. Mostly, it's not going to block enemy vision in or out of it anymore. It's just going to, you're not going to be able to see Sky if she's in it. So if she is in her smoke screen, you are not going to be able to see her. It's a personal effect. Now, that to me limits the usefulness of smoke screen on anything but Smoke and Dagger. Like on Smoke and Dagger, you're using it for the 600 damage, but on every other card, you're using it to impair mobility on point. Like if you're running Debilitate, what you're doing is you're throwing smoke on point so the tank can't see, you flank around and you hit him with poison darts. It forces them to leave the smoke screen to see what the fuck they're shooting at, or who's shooting them. If you take that ability away, you have to run Smoke and Dagger at that point. What else do I have here? I have to read some of this stuff. And then again, there are a lot of cards that are being added base kit. We know Over the Moon is going away. We know Eagle Eye is going away. That's Eevee and Kinessa. Then there's cards like Artful Dodger on Maeve. That's being made base kit. Mother's Grace Inara. That's being made base kit. Damba, I think Spirit's Chosen, they said, was being base kit. That's all I'm going to reveal for the cards. There are a bunch of cards that are up for debate. And here is the other thing that we need to do. We have to go to the shooting range real quick. And we are going to the shooting range because this is the last change of the game. Now remember I said earlier, I know I've been monologuing for a while. Okay, that was weird. It did that again. They were taking out a lot of the loadout cards that had reveals, that had reload speed, cauterize, wrecker, anything like that. Why are they getting rid of those cards? Well, lovely pop-in texture.
The strength of the team is each member. And the strength of each member.
Why? I'm gonna stay on Victor here because Victor's already loaded into the game. So Let's pick shrapnel with shrapnel build. Am I? Oh no, it's default, Victor. God damn it. Do have the full moon gun. Let's show that off. So anyways, item shop is being changed. So, normally how the item shop works is you pick one item in every category and it locks you off from the rest of the items. I don't want to do that. Let's pick an aura.
I have many credits.
Okay.
You are not.
Why did I ult? I was trying to press O and it slipped and went to ult. Okay, whatever. Anyways, this is how the new item shop is going to work. So you can buy any 4 items in the game you want now. So let's go over the item rework. So Bulldozer is going to be merged with Wrecker. So Bulldozer and Wrecker are going to become one. And it is going to be replaced with Aggression! Yay! Y'all remember Aggression? That overpowered card that was fucking useless? If you were a high-level player, it was useless. If you were a noob, you bought Aggression and you defended that to the death. Fuck you, I deal more damage than you. Which no one really remembers that Aggression was more expensive than Haven. Aggression gave you 5% bonus damage, okay? So this did more damage.
Be gone.
But Haven gave you 10% damage reduction. And it was 100 credits cheaper. So if you maxed out Haven and the other person maxed out Aggression, they would have no credits. You would have 15% damage reduction against that. And to top it all off, you could then buy 2 other items at tier 1 because you had more credits than they did. So, you know, they could have Aggression 3. I would have Haven 3 with Cauterize and Kill to Heal. And I would have a much better kit than they did. Anyways, so that's why Cauterize, Wrecker, Reload Speed, you're going to be able to buy all of the red items. So you're going to get Aggression, Reload Speed, Caught, and Wrecker. So you can't have Cauterize, Wrecker, or Reload Speed in your kit. Resilience. You can't have CC cards in your kit if you can get Resilience. You'll be able to buy all of your blue items. Illuminate is getting a rework. So Illuminate is now, it is just going to reveal anybody within that radius to you. So the reveal cards are going away. So anybody within 20 units of you gets revealed. Now it won't go through walls and shit like that. But they're basically trying to nerf reveals, which I think is kind of stupid. I mean, Sky's biggest part of her kit is the fact that she goes invisible and gets behind you. I mean, yes, she doesn't have a movement ability, but even with Illuminate, you can still do that. They're not reworking any of these. They're really reworking the healing. So Life Rip is going down from 300 credits to 200 credits because everybody says, no one uses Life Rip in high-level play. Because you have cunts like Victoria that will cuss you out and report you if you pick Life Rip. Even though it is viable. Kill to Heal is, yes, a superior option every now and then. And Life Rip is a superior option every now and then. Depends on what character you're running. It also depends on who the fuck you have for a healer. Rejuvenate is being reworked, so it's not increased healing from other players. It's going to be increased all healing. So Rejuvenate just gives you 30% more healing if you max it out. And they're reworking Veteran. Now, here's the thing. If they want to talk about numbers, I picked an R for a reason. So Mother's Grace is base kit. They're making Mother's Grace base kit. Okay? That's CC immunity and increased damage reduction. And I have a build right here. They're not changing that Sacred Ground card, I don't think. So there's additional damage. So then my NR kit's just gonna, I'm just gonna buy Rejuvenate. So I add another 30% healing. And I'm gonna buy Master Rider, which I normally do. And I'm gonna buy Blast Shields and Haven and max these out. And I've done the math. I'm looking at an aura that's getting 80% increased healing and 110% total fucking, or 115% total fucking damage reduction. Yeah, I'm still gonna manipulate the numbers. What are you talking about? You think PC is worried about us on console? The thing was, PC players are worried that, you know, they're just gonna try and manipulate numbers, or they're just gonna throw. So they want to make the game, they want to encourage the gameplay to be more fun. Fuck you, PC. Like, that's the big takeaway that I have from this. That basically Hi-Rez is blaming PC. I know a lot of PC players don't want crossplay either. But if they're blaming us for it when we don't want crossplay with them either, like, I have friends of mine that are like, yeah, I want to smash PC players. I don't give a fuck. The game's broken enough as it is. You know, another example is Tyra. Let's go at Tyra, shall we? Let's go at Tyra. Where's Tyra at? Here we go. So you're gonna have First Blood, which is 30% life rip, which is now base kit. I'll take this. Why the fuck not? And then I can buy life rip, which gives me another 30% life rip. And then I can buy rejuvenate, which when it gets reworked, that just gives me 30% more healing. So there's another 30% life rip, basically. So I'm gonna have a Tyra with 90% life rip. That's entirely fair and balanced. Yeah. I'm gonna get 100 health off of that. I'm gonna get 200 health off of that. I'm gonna get 200 health off of that. I'm gonna get 100 health off of that. I'm gonna get 200 health off of that. What's that? Oh my god. I'm gonna get 630 health off of that. 200 health. 100 health. 200 health. 200 health. 100 health. Unkillable. You're gonna give me unkillable Tyra, basically. So yeah, that's the future of Paladins, boys and girls. It's gonna be fun. Hope you enjoy it. I will.